Hey, what's up, guys? Good afternoon from Pasig City, Metro Manila, Philippines. Today I wanted to talk about my road to financial freedom. Yeah, I've been it's been my goal since, well, it's been a practical goal of mine for, I would say, since 2012 or something like that. I've been working really hard towards financial freedom. I basically don't want to work for money anymore, and I don't want to spend so much time on money if I could avoid it. So yeah, I just wanted to talk about that, like the specifics about how I'm gonna get to that point. I'm actually I would say I'm fairly close to that point. Maybe I would say a comfortable retirement for me would be in like 2 years, just considering my expenses and my income right now. But if I had to do it right now, I could, but I am still employed. I have my own business, so I am employed by myself, I guess. I employ myself. But I am looking to let go of that job as soon as I can, because I would say, like I said, my in practical terms, I've been working towards it since about 2012. But ever since I was a little kid, when I first worked at my uncle's sweatshop, back then he owned a sweatshop in downtown LA. I worked one day, not even one day, I worked like half a day over there, and he gave me $20, which was more than I deserved. It was on commission. It was based on each article of clothing, and based on how many I did, I was not owed $20 for sure. And that's when I really learned how hard it is to make a dollar. And since then, whenever anyone asks me like what my dream job is, my dream was to not have to have a job. My only caveat, my only requirement was that I cannot live off somebody else. So like, I can't be a bum. Yeah, I can't be a bum, basically. I can't live off somebody else's work. So if they're working and giving me money, that doesn't count. I'm not allowed to do that. So besides that, any other strategy, and illegal stuff, yeah. But yeah, besides that, any other strategy works. Sorry for the long preamble, but yeah, let's get into it. So yeah, my first part of the strategy is for me to spend less. I'm already a minimalist. I already don't spend much. I made a budget video for my last video, so yeah, if you want to check out my budget, you could go check that video out. But yeah, I already don't spend much, but yeah, there's definitely cuts I can make. For example, like the little e-cigs that I smoke, those aren't necessary. I could cut that. I could probably calm down with eating out. I mean, it's rare that I will go to an expensive restaurant, but I do go there once in a while. That's okay, but I feel like the bigger problem is like the medium priced stuff. Like if I buy myself a pizza or yeah, I don't know, it's not the cheapest thing to buy. It's not the most expensive either, but yeah, I shouldn't be doing that regularly. Where else could I make cuts? Like everything else, so unnecessary things that I buy are I pay for jujitsu, traveling, and then going out with friends and family and stuff like that. So I don't think I want to cut any of those. I'm definitely not cutting any of those completely, but I'm gonna see if I can make some cuts. Yeah, because since I'm a minimalist, I'm not really into giving and getting gifts. So maybe I could cut that. I still give gifts to my little nieces and nephews and stuff, but yeah, for adults, I've been really trying to cut that out, giving and getting. yeah, I did recently spend money on home appliances. I bought a steam cleaner, and a while back I bought a toaster oven. Yeah, those were good purchases. I use them all the time. But yeah, those home appliances, they could start stacking up, especially like useless ones where you use it once or twice and it just sits there. That could definitely happen. But so far I use all the appliances that I own. Let's see. All right, so my second step after spending less will be don't hold debt. There's like different opinions on this, and this is not financial advice. I'm just telling you what I do. I try not to hold any kind of debt. Like I do have a credit card. I recently got rid of my personal credit card. I was using it to get points, but I just got rid of it. I'd rather have like a simplified like system for my finances, and if I could reduce one account or any number of accounts, I believe that's better for me. But I still have my business credit card because I buy my inventory with that, and it's really nice to churn points since I'm buying like, I don't know, like maybe like $100,000 worth of product each year or something like that. Actually, probably less. Yeah, probably less these days. Yeah, I always pay off my business credit card before the interest hits. In that 1 month, what do you call it? Like a buffer. Like I always make sure to pay off anything that I owe on the credit card right away, as soon as possible. Let's see. So yeah, a big thing that may not be for everybody, but for me, I decided to never borrow money to buy a house, which probably means I'll never own a house. But if sometime in the future I am able to buy it in cash, I might consider doing that. But for now, like, I'm not even thinking about home ownership. Like, yeah, I'm a millennial, so basically we are like the first generation to like be screwed in as far as home ownership is concerned. It's just not a reality for the average person my age, and it's even worse for the younger people. I always talk about how I feel bad for the younger generations, just because, yeah, it's gonna be even harder for them to like acquire money and keep money and have their bankroll grow. It'll just get harder and harder as time goes by. So yeah, I'm not really thinking about that yet. Also, I don't plan on owning a car anymore. There might be a situation where I have to own a car in the future that I'm not thinking of, but for the foreseeable future, I don't plan on owning a car, and ideally I would hope to never own a car again, because man, that thing takes so much of your time and money each day. And it would be okay if you loved cars or something like that. You love working on it, fixing it. I mean, if that's the case, then you could definitely reduce how much you spend on it. But you're still gonna have to put in a lot of time into it. And I'm not the type of person that loves cars, but when I lived in Southern California, we really needed cars. I wouldn't say that either. I guess if you live in like LA or something, you don't really need a car. You could get by with public transportation, but then the rent is ridiculously expensive. Now you have to move outside of the city center, and now the transportation is screwed up. Like, it takes like quadruple the time it would take with driving generally in LA. Yeah, so I hope to never own a car again. So that's another strategy to keep my expenses low, and to keep my debt in check. Generally, a lot of people borrow money to buy a car. I hate interest rates. I just hate paying interest. When I was young, someone taught me that working for interest is slavery. It makes sense because that's not part of the money you borrowed. you're working for nothing. Well, it is for the privilege of using the money before you earned it, but I felt like that was same thing as slavery. Actually, I guess more accurately, it would be indentured servitude. But yeah, I don't want to be anybody's servant. Let's see. And right, like I said earlier, never borrow money, and I include family when I say never borrow money. Even though they don't charge me an interest rate, or family and friends, they may not charge you an interest rate, but if you're not able to pay them back in a timely manner, you could ruin the relationship. And man, especially family relationships for me, I definitely never want to destroy. I don't want to be the reason it's destroyed ever. And that's, I've seen it happen before. Just relationships getting destroyed because of money, who owes who what, and like what favor they did that they owe them money for and stuff like that. I don't want to, like, yeah, if I'm gonna give somebody money, I just give it to them. I'd rather not loan it. I don't want to think about like when are they gonna pay me back. It gives me anxiety. So yeah, I don't want to be a lender either. And that's another thing that I was gonna talk about next. I was gonna talk about my investments, and I was gonna say the reason why I don't buy debt like bonds, CDs, stuff like that is because I guess it's like a moral thing. I don't invest completely morally, but that thing, it's like, I don't know, like what if they can't pay me back? You know what I mean? Now I feel some type of way towards them, you know, like an emotional like response, and I don't want to get emotional responses over money. So yeah, I don't ever want to do like fixed income investments. So not all, but the vast majority of my investments are in stocks. I have a little tiny bit in other stuff just for fun, but yeah, the majority are in stocks. So I'm gonna talk about that a little bit here. So yeah, I'm not gonna get too deep into it, but I basically use the Warren Buffett value investing strategy. I do have a bit of index funds. Honestly, I only have one index fund, which is the S&P 500, and I have less than 10% in there. Everything else is just purely stocks. And yeah, I'm not trying to make this a stock picking like channel, or I'm not giving any kind of financial advice. Just letting you know how I invest, and it's been working well for me. Over the last 12 years, I have an average annual growth rate of over 20%. I could show you guys next time. I could show you. I'll include it in this video. A screenshot of my annual growth. Yeah. So you guys know I'm not BSing or whatever. But yeah, I believe it was 12 years. Average of the last 12 years is over 20%, and the S&P 500 makes an average of 10%, although that's averaged out over many more years than 12 years, so that's a more accurate calculation than mine. But hey, over 20% is pretty nice for me. Let's see. Okay, so the next step is live in a cheap place, which is what I'm doing now. So yeah, geo arbitrage. Like, ever since I was younger, I was always interested in geo arbitrage. So back in 2012, which is also the time when I decided I really want to save up so I could buy my financial freedom, was when I moved to Korea to teach English. Yeah, so yeah, that's when my geo arbitrage adventure or journey started. Not adventure, journey started. And man, I was making way more than I ever had at that time. I was making about, I would say it totals to about like 3,000, maybe 2,500 or 3,000 bucks a month. Yeah, and my expenses were way less in Korea than in Southern California. So I was able to save a bunch of money there, and then I moved back to California. But I wanted to. My long-term strategy from there was what I'm doing now. Basically, start a business, make enough from that business to earn money from investments through my through stocks, and then just live off the passive income from stocks. Yeah. So man, I can't believe like I'm almost near the finish line, but yeah, not quite there yet. But yeah, it's been a long journey. So yeah, after Korea, started the business. Yeah. And now it's towards the end of the business. Like, yeah, it hasn't been doing too well. It's still bringing in an income. It's still profitable, so I still keep it around. But yeah, as soon as it's not profitable, I'm letting it go. So yeah, I live here in the Philippines, which is definitely cheaper than living in Southern California. And I'm guessing most Western areas, I could be wrong, like Europe and stuff like that, Canada, Australia. Yeah, I could be wrong, but possibly I'm pretty sure it's a lot cheaper here. But some other options in Southeast Asia, some other options that I know of is Vietnam. Man, I believe Vietnam is possibly one of the best choices. It all depends on what you want. And I heard the main argument against that I hear is their visa situation. So you do have to leave the country after the visa is over and apply for another one while you're not in the country. So that is annoying, but when you apply for it once, as of now, it's a 3-month visa. So yeah, you can apply for it once, stay there 3 months, you gotta leave, but you could just hop over to a neighboring place like yeah, like Cambodia, Thailand, something like that, and just hop right back over on a bus or something. You could do it cheaply, but yeah, I understand it is annoying. I heard that Cambodia has a better, easier visa situation than Vietnam, and as far as the prices of things, Vietnam, I believe, is cheaper. From my experience, it was cheaper. But it wasn't that huge of a difference. It depends on what you buy. But like, if you buy local food, it was still just maybe slightly more expensive. Like, to me, it was negligible. So Cambodia might be a good choice. It's just, for me personally, Cambodia is a little too slow. Like, it's a more slow, laid back type of place. Even in like their biggest city, it's still pretty laid back. Yeah, not too hyperactive out there, which is the opposite of Vietnam. Man, Vietnam is super high energy. Like, something is always popping in Vietnam. Yeah. So if you have anxiety, it might not be the best place. Anxiety problems. And yeah, my last choice would be Thailand. I just really love Thailand, but as far as budget goes, it's not the most budget place in Southeast Asia. I would say it's in the middle. It's not super high up there, and it's not super low. Thailand and Malaysia is in a similar spot, I would say. Like, not super cheap, but I heard real estate is very cheap. Don't quote me on that, but I heard Malaysian real estate is very cheap. So yeah, I've also lived in Mexico, and I believe all these places are cheaper than Mexico. So just to give you some kind of reference, if you've been to Mexico before, or if you've lived in Mexico. But yeah, all these places are cheaper than the US, so you can't really go wrong there. So yeah, I think that'll conclude my video. Yeah, that was the last thing I had on my notes. That'll conclude my video. I hope you guys could get something valuable out of this video, and I will see you guys next time.